got the Jeep Grand Cherokee L. I don't know what the L stands for right now, but it's Overland mid-spec. Keys are here. We're about to collect. They don't want to give me the damn keys.
Oh, we think the keys are here. We're trying to find them.
So he's been looking through a bunch of envelopes, like flat envelopes, for my car keys. And I asked him, you think my car keys are in there? He's like, yeah. We normally put, there he is. Did you find anything?
He's not taking the tool.
Flat, like 10 envelopes, like flats, all of them.
Definitely in those envelopes.
So you didn't find any keys in those envelopes. So now we wait. Delivered. This is it. There's another Jeep over here. Wonderful lady driving a Jeep as well. So we like Jeep partners. Okay, so this is my Jeep that I jump into. I don't know which color I prefer, but I think this is the color. That A45 is loud. Right, here we go. Okay, so just trying to plug in cables, and the really cool thing I'm seeing with the Jeep here is that there are no USB sockets or ports here in the sensor stack underneath here. They're all here, but the cool thing is I've got 2 normal USB ports and 2 USB-C. So I really appreciate that, because a lot of these cars, especially the newer ones, Mercedes-Benz is a culprit here. Everyone's going USB-C, so if you don't have a USB-C port charging cable, just like me, I've got a normal one. Then you need an extension, little adapter thing. So Jeep is catering for everyone now, which is really cool. Appreciate that, Jeep. Shout out to you guys. So here's something very interesting that I've just noticed. My personal car is a V6 petrol car, and same size engine. It's a 3.6 liter V6 petrol, just like this it's also 3.6, but this is really quiet on startup. Like, you can't even hear it. Whereas my car, when you flip the key there and you start it up, you know it's a V6. It sounds like it, and the exhaust is standard on my car. Okay, I'm just looking at the fuel consumption. So I haven't driven this car. This car is delivered here for me, and I'm looking at the fuel consumption average right now before I've even touched the car, and it's sitting at 19.8 liters per 100. That's madness. That's absolutely madness. The car does have a full tank of fuel. Average fuel consumption at the moment is 19.8, and the range is just crazy. It's 490 k's of range. So I mean, I hopped out of a Mercedes-Benz C220 diesel where I got like 1,380 k's off a liter. I drove to Durban and back from one tank of fuel, and I'm jumping into this, which looks like it's literally the exact opposite. So it's going to be interesting to see at the end of 7 days, because I've got this for a week, what the fuel situation will look like. Okay, I think I may have spoken a bit too soon about the V6 sound. I literally just hit the accelerator for the first time, and I heard the V6. It's very much there, and it sounds throaty, deep throaty. So looking forward to hearing what it's going to sound like on the road, because as things stand, it really does sound like the business, or the bee's knees. Oh no. Oh, it's a big car. It's a seriously big car. Brother man, how are you? They said you would open for me, silver Jeep.
Silver Jeep.
Yeah, reception called you because I don't have a ticket. Okay, they're going to talk to each other now and decide whether they want to open for me or not. I don't get a say in this. Right, ladies and gents, bright and early this morning, Saturday morning. Quick recap on yesterday. So yesterday I collected the Jeep Grand Cherokee, the mid-spec, and haven't driven much in it, but first impressions for me is that car rides really, really plush. It's got air suspension, and you can definitely feel that as you're driving along. It literally wafts along as you're moving. It's also a very big car. You can feel it, you can see it. It's very, very American in terms of size and look, and it's an imposing car, which is cool. So the plan for today, we're actually heading out to Kalami for the BMW M-Fest. Yes, this is day 3 of the BMW M-Fest, so we're actually filming for All Things Motoring, the TV show. You better be watching. All Things Motoring, channel 189, DStv, that's what we're doing today. We're filming the BMW M-Fest, so it should be a kick-ass day. So one thing worth mentioning about this car is the audio system. So I'm big on audio. I'm big on crisp audio with a kick of bass that kicks you in the back of the head right here. And this does that. This has that. Listen to this. So it's a Macintosh audio system. I've never heard of it before. So it's not a Bose, it's not a Meridian, it's not a Bowers and Wilkins, the famous ones, right? So this is something I've never heard of, but it's really, really good. Like it does it just right for me. It's got the bass. I'm trying to figure out where to adjust and bring up the treble a bit, but it's good. The only thing though, the only thing I'm complaining about is I can't find any volume controls on the steering wheel. Now I don't know whether it's me who's just blind and can't see it, but there's nothing here. So every time I need to turn the volume up and down, it's here. It's analog, and I appreciate analog. Let me just close that. Just wanted to close the roof because it was tilted, the glass roof. So I did find little knobs in the back of the steering wheel, little button-like things where the pedal shifters are, and one of them basically switches from like Apple CarPlay now, which is what I'm using. It switches from that and it goes into the radio. So this one on the left goes into the radio, and there's one on the right here which mutes the audio. So I still can't find any volume control. So if anyone knows where or if we have any volume controls in this new Jeep, let me know, put it in the comments. Okay, so I figured it out, the whole volume issue. So Jeep does things slightly differently, and all of the audio controls for the system are behind the steering wheel. So these little bump-like buttons that I was feeling, one for muting, the other one on this side for changing the audio source, those are just 2 of them. In front, above and below both of those, you can't feel anything, but if you just press, on this side is volume up and down, and on this side, on the left, it's changing okay, so what happened there was, because I was pressing the pedals and the buttons and whatever at the robot, it went into manual mode. So it goes into manual mode and was stuck in first gear, so I had to get it into drive again. But all the audio controls are at the back. On the left is skipping and going back in terms of track, audio track. You can go forward, next one, or go back. back. So we have figured it out. Not that difficult. It was wild. I mean, my first time at the M-Fest, and it's quite impressive. I was really impressed. It is on par, if not better, than the Festival of Motoring. Now, as I'm driving along here, I'm looking at this screen. So it's a big screen, it's crisp in terms of quality and display, and it's a bit too bright for me. Then I looked around to try and see if I can dim it a bit. Then I see there's a button here, screen off. So you can actually turn the screen off completely. The music is still playing, the navigation, everything in the background is still going on. The screen itself, the display is just off. So that's a cool thing in the Jeep. Still discovering more as I go along. There is a screen in the passenger side that I want to talk about. Actually, let me just show you. Now that's a really cool screen. So passengers have their own little display over there. There's an HDMI port, so you can actually plug in a hard drive or something and the passenger can watch whatever they want to watch there. But I don't know how practical that is. I think in the back seats, having screens in the back there, which this doesn't have, that's very practical. But in the front on the dashboard, I mean, I think that'll be distracting for me as a driver, having my passenger watching Jackie Chan kicking people over here in like an action movie or something. But the cool thing is you can connect headphones. I'm not sure whether it's Bluetooth or whether there's like a jack somewhere. I think it is Bluetooth though. Passenger can connect the headphones and just watch Jack Lee or Jackie Chan doing whatever he does best, kicking people's butts. So there's quite a bit happening here. We've got ourselves a digital instrument cluster, which allows you to see different views, whatever you want to see in the car. Next to that, we've got an infotainment screen, which sort of acts as the vehicle's command center. There's a lot happening. You can go into your fam cam. The fam cam allows you to see the kids at the back. So there's a camera somewhere in the car that shows you each and every seat individually where the kids are. You can drop the headrests in the rear. You've got your nav. The nice thing about the screen is that it doesn't do everything. So there are functions like the volume and the aircon that you can still control manually outside of the screen. And that's really cool for me, because those sort of things like volume control, aircon control, those need to still be analog and manual. So other features over here include heated seats, cooled seats for the summer and the winter. You've also got a heated steering wheel for winter, and that really does help. If you want to go 4x4ing, we've got all kinds of drive modes. We've got rock, sand, mud, snow, and auto. Up ahead, we've got ourselves a panoramic glass roof, which extends not all the way to the back, but it goes far back enough for you to get sufficient lights in here. And should you want to close it and prevent the sun from coming in, because obviously it does get really hot, you can do that. Now, this is the first ever Jeep Grand Cherokee with 7 seats. So we've got 7 seats over here, 3 rows of seats. The absolute rear, the last 2, those can be folded and brought up electronically. So you don't have to fight them and, try and bring them up and using muscles that you don't have. It's all electronic. The interesting bit is that I can fit in that final row of seats. I'm 1.8 meters in height, so I'm really tall. I'm not a short guy, but I can fit there comfortably. I wouldn't want to be there for a long distance trip, but just commuting up and down in the city, wherever, comfortably, I can fit in there. So they've really done a great job in there, because normally in other cars, those last 2 seats at the back, you can't really fit an adult. It's normally kids who can fit in there comfortably. Adults, not so much. The other nice thing about these seats, guys, is that they're fully adjustable. So these can go backwards and forwards, just like this. You can recline them. So you can set them however you want. You can like really recline. So that's like full on a chill recline. It's a family car, that's what it's made for. Okay, so my time with the Jeep Grand Cherokee Overland has finally come to an end. This is where it ends. Final thoughts on this car for me. 1.5 million rand for the mid-spec over here. And I like the car. I like the car. I like that it's big. I like that it's American. It's got that American look to it. It's just a big, bulky American car. It's a 7-seater for the first time. So for that kind of price, I feel like you are getting your money's worth. It's a 7-seater. It's a big car, 3.6-liter V6 petrol. I wish there was a diesel. That's what I would go for. Ton of features, heated seats, steering wheel, you name it. It's all there. USBs all over the car. And I really did enjoy my time with the car. Suspension, air suspension, love it. It handles well, rides well. The engine is enough here. So I guess it just depends on whether you're willing to part with $1.5 million for a Jeep Grand Cherokee.